Good morning to everyone. Today we will learn about chemistry, that is 8th standard chemistry. In that I have taught one lesson, already I have taught one lesson, that is synthetic fibers and plastics. And today we will learn about the important lesson, that is metals and non-metal. The learning objectives of this lesson is at the end of this lesson, you can be able to differentiate the non-metals and metals, their properties, their uses, their application in day-to-day life. So everything you will learn in this lesson. Because the metals and non-metals, it finds wide application in our day-to-day life. The jewelry, the jewels we wear, the vessels, cooking vessels we use in our home, and some of the water bottles you are using, water cans you are using, it is made up of nowadays you are using alloy, stainless steel bottle, copper bottle you are using. So we are using the metals in our day-to-day life. Not only we are using metals in our day-to-day life, 4,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago itself, or in the ancient time itself, the people they have used this metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals in the ancient times, they have used without knowing the source, without knowing the composition, they have used for preparing many vessels. And in our day-to-day life also we are using the metals and non-metals widely. And it finds application in the industries and in other appliances also. So here we will see about the properties of these metals and non-metals. I told that in the periodic table, the first middle portion are mostly metals, and the right portion, that is the p block element, are what? Non-metals. So we will see the properties of metals. Today we will see the properties of metals. Properties of metals. So the first property, its hardness. See, the metals are hard. It is very hard because they are solids, and the hardest substance is diamond. And the hardest substance is diamond. Whereas these non-metals are soft. The non-metals are soft. Non-metals are soft. They can be cut with a knife. Non-metals are soft. They can be cut with a knife. We can cut the non-metals with knife. Can be cut with knife. The non-metals are soft. They can be cut with knife. So hardness, they are very hard, and because they are solids, and it has the more hardness is due to the high density of that metals. For example, this diamond is very hard, and these non-metals are soft. They can be cut with a knife. Then malleability. Malleability is nothing but the tendency of a metal to be drawn into sheets, or malleability is the process of forming sheets of metals, or the metals can be drawn into sheets. Metals can be drawn into sheets. Drawn into sheets. Sheets. What about this non-metals? The non-metals, when they are beaten, it will be brittle, and it is not drawn into sheets, but it will be broken. This non-metals on beating, this non-metals will be brittle, and it cannot be drawn into sheets. It will be broken. So non-metal is brittle and it will be broken. Here this malleability, it can be drawn into sheets. So this sheets, that is copper and aluminium sheets, find wider application in larger industries, appliances, everything, and because of its drawn into sheets. For example, gold, it can be drawn into sheets, and it can be made into a thin ribbon, which is very thinner than your hair. So likewise, the metals have the tendency to be drawn into sheets. So only we are using the gold for making jewelry, minute jewels and all we are using because of its property to be drawn into sheets. So all the metals can be drawn into sheets. So malleability is nothing but the tendency of metals to be drawn into sheets is known as malleability. Then ductility. So ductility is nothing but the tendency of the metal to be drawn into wires. So we can change the metals into wires. For example, this copper and aluminum wires, it is used in electricity, to carry electricity. So copper and aluminum wires are used to carry this electricity because of its tendency to be drawn into wires. So copper and aluminum, it is a good conductor. So since it is a good conductor, it is used to draw it is used to transfer the movement of the electricity, or it is used to transfer electricity from one point to another point. We are using this copper and aluminum to prepare wires. What about the non-metal? It cannot be drawn into wires. And then sonorous. The tendency of producing ringing sound is known as sonorous. Sono, sound. Sono means sound. So the metals will produce ringing sound when they are struck to another metal surface. For example, it is used in the bells in churches and bells in temples. So the property of producing ringing sound is known as what? Sonorous. So all the metals are sonorous, whereas our non-metals are not sonorous. So the property of producing ringing sound, sono means sound. So here when you struck a metal surface using another metal, it will produce a ringing sound, ting, a sound will be produced. And this sonorous property you can see in the bells of churches and temples. There they will use this metal bell, and when the inside one gong will be there, when the gong strings the other surface of that bell, it will produce sound. So this sonorous property you can see in the churches and temples in bells. Then heat conduction. These metals will conduct heat easily or nicely. So it is a good conductor of heat. So these metals are good conductor of heat. So metals are good conductor of heat. So it is used in all the thermal appliances. So these metals are good conductors of heat, whereas non-metals are not good conductors. They are all insulators. Non-metals are insulators. Non-metals are not conductors of heat. They are all insulators. So metals are good conductors of heat, whereas non-metals are all insulators. Then electrical conduction. The metals are good conductors of electricity also. Then electrical conduction. The metals are good conductors of electricity because of this property, this copper and aluminum. It is used to prepare electrical wires. That wires will carry the electricity from one point to another point. So these metals are good conductors of electricity, or they are good electrical conductors. And another one metal is there, that is this another one material is there, that is bakelite. It is an insulator. So bakelite is an insulator. It is used to prevent the electrical shocks. So bakelite is an insulator. It is used to prevent the electrical shocks. So inside the copper and aluminum wire will be there. Copper and aluminum wire will be there, or filament will be there, above which a layer of bakelite will be coated. So this layer will prevent from electric shocks, or this layer will protect us from electrical shock. So inside copper and aluminum wire or filament will be there, and the outer surface will be coated by this bakelite. This bakelite is an insulator. So this bakelite prevents the electrical shocks or protect us from electrical shocks. And then this bakelite, it is also used to prepare handles of cookwares. Handles of cookwares. The non-stick pan, the non-stick tawa, its handle is made by this bakelite. So only you can able to touch that handle without any cloth or without any tongs. So that bakelite, it is used to prepare handles of cookwares, handles of doors, and it is also used to prepare switches. So this bakelite, it is not in the book, it is also used to prepare switches. So in the olden days and all, they have used one black colored coated switch will be there, and that black colored coating, inside which you will have one powdery substance that is known as this bakelite. So this bakelite is used to form switches or prepare switches. And then this bakelite, since it is an insulator, it is coated on the filament, copper and the aluminum filament, to prevent electrical shocks. and it is also used to prepare handles of cookwares. So this is about the electrical conduction. Then about the states. The metals are solids at room temperature. Metals are solids at room temperature, whereas this mercury at 20 degree to 25 degree C, it is a liquid. Mercury is a only liquid at room temperature. So this is an important one word, mercury, Hg symbol. Mercury is an important liquid, or mercury is a metal which is in liquid state at room temperature. Whereas this non-metals are solids, liquids and gases. Non-metals will have solids, liquids and gases. Non-metals are solids, liquids and gases. So example for solids, carbon, sulfur and then this phosphorus are examples of what? Solids. And example for a liquid non-metal, bromine is the only liquid at room temperature. Bromine. So this is another one word. So this mercury is the only liquid metal at room temperature, and here bromine is the only liquid non-metal at room temperature. And gases, you can give many examples, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen are all example for non-metals which are gases. So here when you take the physical state, the metals are solids at room temperature and mercury is a liquid metal at 20 to 25 degrees C, and non-metals are solid, liquid and gases. Example for solid, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, and this liquids, bromine is only liquid non-metal, and this gases, oxygen, nitrogen and this oxygen, nitrogen and hydrogen are gases. Then metallic luster. These metals will have good luster. Metals will have good luster. What is this luster? Shiny appearance. Luster means it will be very shiny. Shiny appearance. Which will be very shiny? Metals will be very shiny. So only we are making it to prepare gold jewelry, silver jewelry, copper jewelry. Because of this shiny appearance, we are using these metals to prepare cheap jewelry. And gold mainly it is used to because of its shiny appearance. So these metals will have a shiny luster and non-metals will not have any shiny luster. So these are all the properties of what? Metal. So first property, hardness. They are hard, metals are hard, whereas non-metals are soft. It can be cut with a knife, and this metals have good malleability, drawn into sheets, and this non-metals, they are brittle and they will be broken when they are beaten, and this metals have good ductility, that it can be drawn into wires, they cannot be drawn into wires. Then metals are sonorous, they will produce ringing sound. Non-metals are non-sonorous, and metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity, and they have a good luster. Metals have good luster and non-metals won't have good luster. And another important property is metals have high density. So it has high density. Non-metals has less density. Non-metals has less density. So metals have high density and non-metal have less density. Now we have seen all the physical properties of metal. Now we will see some chemical properties of metals. Chemical properties of metals. Chemical properties of metals. For example, the sodium, first one is reaction with oxygen. The sodium that reacts with oxygen to form Na2O. So we have to balance this equation. How to balance? Here 2 sodium is present, so 2, and Na2, 2 Na, and here also 2 Na, and but 2 oxygen is present. Here 2 oxygen, but here only 1 oxygen is present. So when you put 2, it will become 2 oxygen. For oxygen it's okay. Sodium, 2 sodium is there, but here 4 sodium. So we have to put 4 here. So 4 Na plus O2 gives Na2O. When sodium reacts with oxygen, it forms Na2O. The sodium is very, very reactive. So only it is placed in kerosene. Sodium is placed in kerosene. And now magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. that is MgO. Magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide, MgO. Here one Mg is there, here also one Mg, but here only one oxygen is there, but here two oxygen. So you have to put 2 here. So oxygen 2 here, and here also 2 oxygen balanced, but here 2 Mg is there. So you have to put 2 here. Now it is a completely balanced equation. Here also 2 Mg, here also 2 Mg, here 2 oxygen, here also 2 oxygen. Now calcium. Calcium plus oxygen, it forms calcium oxide. You balance the equation. Here 2 oxygen is there, here only 1 oxygen, so you put 2. So 2 oxygen, it is balanced, but here only 1 calcium, here 2 calcium, so 2. So 2 Ca plus O2 gives 2 CaO. Now potassium. Potassium reacts with oxygen to form potassium oxide. So here 2 potassium is there, but here only 1 potassium is there, so 2. So 2K plus O2, but here only 1 oxygen, here 2 oxygen. So here you put 2. So 2 oxygen, it's balanced, here also 2 oxygen, but 2 into 2, 4 potassium is there, then you put 4 here. So 4K, here also 4K, balanced. 2 oxygen, here also 2 oxygen, balanced. So it is a balanced equation. So when sodium reacts with oxygen, it forms sodium oxide. Magnesium reacts with oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. Calcium reacts with oxygen, it forms calcium oxide. And potassium reacts with oxygen, it forms potassium oxide. Now I hope you learn how to balance a particular chemical equation. Now reaction with non-metals. Reaction of oxygen with non-metals. Oxygen with non-metals. So I will give only one example. Oxygen with non-metals. Can I give one example for non-metal? We will take sulfur. So sulfur symbol S. Sulfur reacts with oxygen. Oxygen symbol O2. It forms sulfur dioxide. Here it is already balanced. S plus O2 gives SO2. This is a gas. So when you put upward arrow, it is a gas. So here it is a pungent smelling gas, irritating odor. It causes suffocation, pungent smelling gas. So sulfur dioxide is a pungent smelling gas. And here when the sulfur dioxide is dissolved in water, what is the formula for water? H2O. So SO2 plus H2O, it gives H2SO3. It is also balanced. H2SO3. It is a simply addition reaction. So SO2 plus water this water, it gives H2SO3. This is known as sulfurous acid. Sulfuric acid is H2SO4. Sulfurous acid is H2SO3. So here it forms a acid. Here the oxides of metals are basic in nature. The oxides of metals are basic. Oxides of metals are basic in nature, whereas here oxides of, how I am telling, when you dip a litmus paper, blue litmus paper in the sulfurous acid solution, it will be converted into red, or it will turn into red, or blue litmus paper turn into red. So it shows that it is acidic. So here oxides of metals are basic. Then what about non-metals? Oxides of non-metals are acidic. Here oxides of non-metals are acidic. Oxides of non-metals are acidic. So these are some of the chemical reaction of what? This oxygen and with metals and with non-metals. And some other reaction is also there, displacement reaction, reaction with water, corrosion, and some other reactions are also there. We will see in the next class. So today we saw the chemical property, only one chemical property, reaction with oxygen, that is the sodium reacts with oxygen to form sodium oxide. It is very reactive. It is stored under kerosene or in kerosene. And this magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide, and calcium reacts with oxygen to form calcium oxide, and then potassium reacts with oxygen to form potassium oxide. Now reaction of oxygen with non-metal. Sulfur reacts with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide gas, a pungent smelling gas, and this, when it is dissolved in water, it forms sulfurous acid. The sulfurous acid, when you dip a blue litmus paper, it will be converted into red. So that shows the acidic nature of this non-metals. So non-metals are acidic in nature. Oxides of metals are basic in nature. That you have to remember. That is one important one word. And today's class we have learned physical properties of metals and only one chemical property, that is reaction with oxygen. So in this lot of one word will be asked, and sometimes the properties of metals can be asked as a difference. You can write as a difference between metals and non-metal. It can be asked in long answer also. So today I want you to learn this chemical properties of metals and you submit in the group. Okay, so I want you to learn only these chemical property, and the main objective of this lesson is to make you to learn how to balance a particular chemical equation also. So today I have taught you to balance some of the simple chemical reaction. So I hope you have understood today's class. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.